Wait, is that really John Goodman? The guy who played Dan Connor, Fred Flintstone, and Mike Wazowski's human pal. Because the 74-year-old we're seeing here, slim, energetic, and rocking a supermarket selfie like it's a red carpet moment, is so far removed from the larger-than-life figure we grew up with, it's almost surreal. But here's the kicker, this isn't some viral Photoshop fail. This is the real John Goodman, 200 pounds lighter, and defying every expectation about aging, fame, and self-reinvention. And honestly, his story isn't just about weight loss. It's a masterclass in resilience, redefining yourself when the world least expects it, and the quiet rebellion of refusing to fade into nostalgia. Let's unpack why this matters. First off, the obvious, Goodman's physical transformation is jaw-dropping. But what's more fascinating is the why behind it. He didn't do this for a role. He didn't do it for clout. He did it because he wanted to live better, and that's where this story shifts from a before and after photo to something way deeper. Think about it. Here's a guy who spent decades as America's lovable TV dad, the human embodiment of a couch and a cold beer, suddenly rewriting his own script. In a culture obsessed with youth, Goodman's reinvention, at 70+ feels like a middle finger to the idea that aging is just a slow decline. Personally, I think that's what makes this so inspiring. It's not about looking younger, it's about rejecting the narrative that we peak in our 20s and then coast. Now, let's talk about the method. Quitting alcohol in 2007, adopting a Mediterranean diet, hiring a trainer, none of this is flashy. There's no 30-day detox, or celebrity guru pushing a miracle pill. Goodman's approach was slow, deliberate, and unglamorous. And that's the point. What many people don't realize is that sustainable change rarely looks cinematic. It's not about dramatic gestures, it's about showing up every day and making slightly better choices. When Goodman says, "It takes creative energy to sit on your ass and figure out what to eat next," he's not just being funny, he's highlighting the mental grind of breaking habits. That relapse during the pandemic. Totally human. But the fact that he stayed the course for years. That's grit. But here's the twist, Goodman's weight loss isn't just a personal win. It's a commentary on how we see actors and people age. Fans nostalgic for his 90s heyday are now grappling with a new version of him, one that challenges their memory of who he should be. And that tension, it's everywhere. We love actors for defining eras in our lives, but when they evolve, it forces us to confront our own fixation on the past. One fan called him unrecognizable, but isn't that the point? Growth means shedding skins, even if it makes others uncomfortable. From my perspective, this reflects a bigger cultural shift, the demand for authenticity over nostalgia. Goodman isn't cashing in on his past self, he's proving he's more than a caricature. And let's not ignore the irony. The man who voiced Mike Wazowski in Monsters Incorporated, a character literally designed to be round and bouncy, is now defying that visual shorthand. There's something poetic about that. It raises a deeper question. Why do we tie people's identities to their physicality? Whether it's actors, athletes, or anyone else in the spotlight, we get weirdly possessive. Goodman's journey whispers, "You don't own me." And honestly, that's refreshing. So where does this leave us? Goodman's story isn't a cautionary tale about health, it's a blueprint for reinvention. It's about owning your narrative, even when the world tries to box you into a memory. As he gears up for his next film with Tom Cruise, another guy reinventing himself well into his 50s, it's hard not to see a pattern. The most interesting stars aren't the ones who cling to youth, they're the ones who embrace change. Which makes me wonder, what if the real secret to longevity isn't about resisting time, but dancing with it? Let me know what you think. Because if John Goodman can surprise us at 74, maybe we're all capable of more plot twists than we realize.